Good morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today we are doing a reset. It has been a long weekend for me and I am getting back on track and we are going to get this place cleaned up. As you can see, Kitty Boy has been climbing my tree. He spent the entire day Monday morning climbing up and down it, knocking balls down, and having a grand old time. My office is trashed, the living room's a mess, the kitchen's a mess, but you know what? It's really all okay because guess what? We can get back on track and let's start right now. And there you go. That's the mess, the real deal. If I'm going to be anything with you, I'm always going to be real. If there's a mess to see, you'll see it. I'm not ashamed. It happens. It happens to the best of us. You get busy, things get put to the wayside, and here we go. It is time for the reset. The wonderful thing about life is no matter where you leave off, you can absolutely pick back up and get right back on track again. It's a little bit dark over here, but thank you, Lori, for the Christmas card. And I just got my mail today. Thank you, Deborah, for the Christmas card as well. They're very pretty. Thank you. I'm going to be piling the dishes on my stove to get them out of my way. So order the trash. Food that needs to be put up. We are going to make quick of all this today. As you might be able to tell, over the weekend we did do a quick trip to Walmart, so I need to get this food put away, the dishes done, and things just generally picked up and put away. If you check out my community page, you will notice that I put up that a couple of my books had been published to Amazon, and I will provide the links to those for anyone interested down below. I do try to use my pellet bags to put trash in so that they at least get reused for something, because they're going into the trash anyway, because I do not believe there's anywhere local up here where you can recycle such a bag. These are actually clean. You would think that after living here for 5 years, I would know where the light switch is. Instead, I'm always trying to turn lights on where I think the switch should be. And though I said that this was a morning reset, you will see that the time seems to be rapidly changing in my video. That is because during the day I get busy with other things, and when I film I do have to sometimes break that filming up and just resume where I left off. And it's kind of like real life because that's what happens on a regular daily schedule too. So if you've made it this far in the video, what do you keep your sugar and flour and rice in? I'm curious to know. We have always, since the kids have been very little, kept sugar and flour in these 5-gallon buckets. And the problem with these are they are very heavy when they are full, which I have not been filling them recently, but they're very heavy to lug around. So just curious what you all keep your things like that in. I know a lot of people do not cook for many people, or they do not buy so much ahead and they keep it in canisters, but I'd like to hear your answers. I know that many of you saw on my community page or on my Facebook, and if you're on my Facebook, you already know that I am putting out some books, some children's books. And some of them will be available in hardcover, some of them will only be available in ebook. But there is something that I did want to put out there about my books so that you can have the choice to purchase or not purchase if you're going to purchase. And I'm going to read you what I wrote on my Facebook. Well, finally my book has come out in hardcover, but before you spend your money, I would like you to be aware of one certain thing. In my creativity, I use AI, which is artificial intelligence. In these books, when I make these images, I explain to AI in great detail exactly what I expect my images to look like, and AI crafts those images for me. If the images don't look right to me, we start over in the creative process, and in great detail, again, I explain to it what I want done. Sometimes this can take a half an hour or so. While I don't pick up a paintbrush, marker, or crayon, pen, or anything of the sort, the creative process is still coming from me in collaboration with the AI. So while this is not your normal creative process, it is still very much a creative process. But I am moving along with the times and using the tools that are available to me to bring to life the things that are in my mind, heart, and soul. As for the stories that are within the book, yes, they are mine. I dictate or type to the AI what I want it to say, and I have it correct my grammar and spelling. As a person who cannot afford an assistant or an editor or an illustrator to do all the things that I want to do in my life, this for me has become the cheapest alternative as long as it is used correctly. I have decided that as long as you know that I put a lot of my own creative energy into this tool to create what you see. However, I do feel that everyone should know how my books are created. And with that, my book, The ABCs of Aroostook, Maine, has come out in hardcover, which I'm pretty proud of, because it took me some time to put that together and to make the images look right and to make everything flow properly so it'll have a proper bounce for a small child. But I believe in being truthful and honest about my process of creating. Just in case you missed it, all the dishes that I am rinsing off from the sink, they have all been washed. Some of that did get cut out for time's sake because this video is super, super long today. Uh-oh, I spy trouble coming right up behind me. I am telling you, this boy gets crazier and crazier by the day. Max, oh my goodness. I picked him up this morning and, like always, tried to give him a little kiss on his nose because he seemed like he was being calm and sweet. And he bit my bottom lip and didn't want to let go. I will never learn my lesson. I am constantly trying to give him kisses and he is constantly telling me, "Mom, cut it out. I hate that." But he just is something else. I'm telling you, he goes through his zoomies and he gets on the end of his claws and he jumps from one thing to the other and runs and goes into his little house things and attacks everything that moves. He is the most crazy, crazy cat I have ever had in my life. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in any of my other videos about him, but he absolutely loves my robot vacs. And if they are charged, which the one downstairs right now is not, because he turns it on at very random times and it sucks up the most random things in this house, he gets on it and turns it on. And then he chases it. And if it stops, he will turn it right back on again and chase it some more. So if it was just him here and nobody was leaving anything on the floor, I would have the most clean floors in this town. He would run that thing and run that thing until it died, and he would start it right back up again. He absolutely loves the robot vacuum because of the little wisp things that are on the side that spin. He just chases the crap out of them. And I will be a little bit honest here. In some ways, I will be glad when Christmas comes and goes because of all the extra decorations and extra stuff. It's just feeling a little closed into me in the living room, and I think you'll see why when I go in there to clean. But I kind of feel this way every year, and I think there's a big build up to Christmas and then just this kind of down period where, like, what was I so excited about? But I am enjoying the season. It's just, I think it's a very long season in some ways, even though it also seems very short. Like, it's very hard to believe it's already, as I'm recording this, the 17th. But at the same time, it seems like now we are to the point in the month where it is dragging on. But I remember being a kid, everything from Thanksgiving on was just drag. So, it's as an adult, it's gone by fast up until this point. But I think what it is too is I think that I just really need to sit down and do some fun stuff with the family and, just do some things that are going to lift my spirits back up. My plant with the flowers on it, well, I don't know if they're flowers or red leaves or what exactly they are, but that thing is growing like crazy. And I don't even know why, because I don't know what I'm doing with it. My daughter-in-law has had problems with hers, and its growth seems to be a little bit stunted, and she keeps saying, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's a tropical plant. I keep it beside my kitchen sink. It seems to do well, but it does okay outside in the summertime too, because it's humid here. I also think, in all reality, it might actually do good up in my bathroom on the bathroom sink, and I was actually considering putting it up there, except the door, when it's open, blocks the window, so it wouldn't be getting any real amount of sunlight. Somebody had mentioned putting up some shelves behind my washer and dryer, and that's also something that I'm thinking about doing. And speaking of my washer and dryer, we have this horrible vibration with the washing machine. And I told my husband that years ago we had the same problem in the old Bucksport house with our front loader. And the man that came out to look at it told us that we should buy some horse mats to put under it, the big thick rubber mats. So I looked on the line tonight to look for washing machine vibration mats, and actually those horse mats popped up. So I am going to send the hubby and Bella to go grab a couple of those tomorrow for me, and Trevor and I will slip them under the machines. I say slip, but that washing machine must weigh 200-300 pounds. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to try to cut down on the vibration from the machine, and plus it will look a lot nicer, I think, up on the mats. And I don't remember who I was talking to here, but whatever it was, it must have been funny. And a lot of times you're going to notice that I am talking and you can't hear what I'm saying. I actually do remove a lot of the conversations out of the video, because some of the stuff that we're talking about probably should not be on YouTube. But that's besides the point. It's just, I do try to keep my life somewhat private, and who knows what we were talking about. But back to the plant, you're going to notice in a minute here, I'm going to move one of my plants over on top of the dryer, and that will give me a little bit more space over here. Like I said, I'm starting to feel a bit closed in the kitchen, and these plants actually need some water, speaking of the plants. And, I'll be glad to get things back in order. I'll be glad for tax time and grown-up Christmas. That's what I'll be glad for. Yeah. So anyway, back through to the video. After I am done in here, I will be folding a little bit of laundry, and then we're going to move right on to the living room. And stick around until the end, because I have a sneak peek of a new product that's been sent to me, and I think you might find it interesting. But you don't get to see the product, you get to guess what it is. Yes, he did. He did the end of the driveway. You were sleeping. God, I hope so. Sometimes, just for reality's sake, I like to leave in little clips of us all talking. It's not a mistake. I do it intentionally. It's like you get to peek into who we are. And we're not all wrapped up in butterflies and rainbows. We're not the Waltons. We're rough around the edges. We're just simply who we are. And some of us are quieter, and we like to seek solace in peace and alone time, and others of us are loud and boisterous. And if you get us all together, we're all pretty loud and boisterous, and we all love to, I don't know how you could put it nicely, talk crap. We all love to joke around, and we all love to pick on each other, and we are just a real family that, we are what you get when you see us. There's no putting on an act. There's no pretending to be somebody you're not. And that's the one thing that I love about our family. And another thing that I love is that we could all be fighting one moment and sitting in front of the TV laughing the next. Things are forgiven easily, and nobody seems to hold a grudge. And that's a pretty special thing in this day and age. Do people get mad for a really long time sometimes? Yeah, they do. But eventually it all comes together. It's part of being in a big family. And being in a big family means loud and fun and arguments and all the things that come with family. Sometimes you may even notice me on here and I look like I am mad at the world, and we might be having a discussion about something as simple as politics or something on the news or something like that. And generally, we are all pretty easygoing people and easy to get along with. The one thing that I've really tried hard on here not to do is to script my videos. I will say that sometimes I do sit down and I do write up a script if I just cannot come up with something to say on the fly. But for the most part, my videos are done on the fly. I try to keep things with all of you as personable and real, so that you know that when you come here, you're sitting with a friend. I want you to feel like you've pulled up in my driveway, you've come in my door, and you're sitting down and we're having a cup of coffee while I clean up the house. And I hope that that's how you feel when you come here. Like you are a part of our family, that you're a neighbor next door. And that's really my goal for this channel. Hubby made his trek out into the kitchen today when I'm voicing this over, because we were doing something with the washer and dryer, and he put his hand on the coffee bar and it was all sticky. He goes, "Don't you ever wash this?" I'm like, "Buddy, this thing gets so dirty so fast because we drink coffee and hot chocolate so much that I walk by it and wipe it down, and the next time I come back it's like this again." So it gets wiped down, quickly some days, and as I go by, and other days it gets scrubbed down, but it just always seems to be sticky, no matter what I do. You feel famous now? Huh? No? Well then. I decided with this laundry there was no point in folding it right here on the washer and dryer because it would all need to be brought upstairs anyway, and sometimes when I do this it ends up folded and not moving and getting all unfolded again, and then eventually it ends up being brought upstairs anyway. So the point is here that I'm just going to toss them into a bag and I'm going to bring them upstairs into my bedroom so that when I go up there to help Greg with his showering and stuff, I can just fold them while I wait for him to get out of the shower. The towels I did fold down here for the simple fact that they would need to be separated from some of my kitchen stuff, so I did do those down here and brought the other stuff up a little bit later on that night.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel
Do you all remember how I said Max was being such a great cat and he wasn't climbing the tree? Well, that's all changed. Now he sees it as a giant jungle gym, and I am standing here now redecorating the tree because these are all the balls Mr. Max knocked off my tree. It all started the other night when my grandson Weston was over here. He somehow bumped into the tree and the whole thing fell over. And from that point on, Max was obsessed. So every morning now, for the last few days, he's been climbing up and down the middle of it at least a few times as part of his morning antics. Someone on here mentioned that they have a teepee tree, and I think I am definitely going to be looking into that for next year. Because for one, I think the idea is absolutely adorable, and for two, I think that getting pictures of the cats or the dogs underneath the tree sleeping under that soft glowing light would be so pretty. So, and I think it would be a lot harder for the cats to knock over. Not that my other cats take much interest, but you never know, they probably will eventually here. Oh ho ho, look who's coming to help. Just keep watching on the lower right corner of the tree and you will see a certain somebody peeking up the middle of the tree. He was going to climb up and grab my hand. There he goes. Yep, he's changing his mind for some odd reason, but he was going to shoot up the middle of the tree, and he could do it pretty fast, too. Nothing seems to much get in his way. The funniest part of the whole thing is the tree is flocked, so when he comes out, he looks like he's been well glittered. And no, the tree does not look anywhere near as nice as when the kids helped me decorate it, but that's okay. Christmas is coming right up, and before you know it, it'll be time to take the tree down anyway. And the good thing is, Max is, he's just a baby this year, so he really enjoyed himself. And I guess that's part of Christmas for everybody is finding that enjoyment. And if that's his way of enjoying, then so be it. Because it won't be that way forever. Someday he'll be an old boy and he'll be slowed down and we'll be wishing that he was zooming around again. Just like when you have kids. If it wasn't so dry in here, I'd invest in a real tree every year just so that he could have the fun of playing with that. I had a tree skirt last year, but I have no idea whatever happened to it. I don't know if it got put in my closet or if it got thrown away for some reason or what the deal with it was, but apparently it went missing. So this year I'm just making do with a fleece blanket underneath. I don't really think it makes a huge difference because I tend to usually put the dog beds around the tree anyway. So that way they can lay under the tree and look all cute and cozy. Or in Lucky's case, he likes to get under there and itch his back on the tree. So for years and years, there's been problems with my tree anyway. The bottom always ends up looking crazy because of Lucky scratching his back on the branches. So I've been here talking and talking about myself, and now I'm going to ask you, what have you been up to recently? Are you getting ready for the holidays? Are you going to be going away to families on the holiday, staying home? Do you have a big meal on Christmas? Do you exchange gifts? Do you even celebrate Christmas at all? Because I can tell you, my great grandma Hazel, she was a witness and she did not celebrate Christmas, and I loved her just the same. The gift giving didn't mean anything to me because she was one of the sweetest, most precious people on earth. And she had so much more to give me than any physical item could ever begin to replace. I have friends from many different religions and backgrounds, and I love each and every one of them for their differences and thoughts and ideas, and I think it's honestly what was intended, and it's what makes the world go round. And if any of you have younger or even older playful cats, I don't know about your cats, but my Max loves when I bring his little tunnel and house out. He goes crazy for them. They are some of his favorite things, although I do not leave them out all the time because I do not want him to get bored of them. And I like that they collapse onto themselves and they fold up and they stay folded up. I do think when we get back from my daughter-in-law's on Christmas that I will be taking the tree down that night or even the next day. But I think a lot of my other decor I will wait until after New Year's to take down, like the houses and the garland and some of that stuff. That stuff can wait until after New Year's, but the tree, because we live in a small home, is definitely something that we're not going to leave up super long term. I'm actually thinking about decorating for Valentine's Day this year, but if I do, I'm going to be making the decor myself. I'm not really going to go out and buy decor for Valentine's Day because I have a lot of crafting stuff here at home that I can use to whip some things up that are cute and fun, and even maybe change up my pom-pom garland a little bit, add some white to it, and what do you know, you have a Valentine's Day garland. So it should be pretty easy to decorate for Valentine's Day without spending any cash. Yeah. Well, I can take them battery operated ones and put them right out on the porch. I can put those battery operated ones right out on the porch. So you can get a totally different view. Oh, is he? If you go into the app store and look up Frisky's Cat app, it will bring it up. You can always tell in this house when winter has arrived and we're running this pellet stove because everything gets so covered in dust and it is so dry in here. The amount of heat that these pellet stoves throw off is actually pretty impressive, considering they are considered to be a space heater.
You! Oh my goodness, you scared me! What the heck? You crazy! I was tucking you into the couch!
I put a blanket on the couch, I was tucking it in, and he was in it! And then he was biting me!
He's in there again! Lumpy, Lumpy. I guess he's trying to get squished. You cookie boy. Hey, that's my fingers.
Life with Max has definitely proven to be quite interesting, let me tell you. Alexa, go home. Max. Maxie, no peeking. No peeking. No peeks. Don't peek. Don't peek. Okay? No peeking. No peeking. Love you. I love you. You're my baby. Don't bite. No bites. Be nice. Be nice. Aw, be nice to Mama. So, did you all notice the box? I got this today at about 6 o'clock. The problem is, there's another box coming. I told you that in the future, I may do a post that's sponsored, or maybe somebody will send me something, and I'll just do a post about it. Well, these guys have sent me a product, and I'm waiting for the other one to come. They are unrelated, but the first one is here, and they've asked me to do the video with both products together. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to give you the smallest sneak peek, and I want to see if anyone can guess what it is that they sent me. And this is only a part of it. So leave your guesses in the comments below, and as soon as they deliver the other box, which is again unrelated, everything is in here. There are 3 of something in here. And I will show you as soon as they come in an unboxing video what they are. I have unboxed these to look at them to make sure that A, they arrive safely, B, that they didn't contain a cat, and C, that it was actually a product that I know that I would use and enjoy. So with that said, we're just waiting on the second package. Until the next time, happy cleaning, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Maxie, get out of there. You ready to come out? No? Are you gonna get me? Come on out. Come out. I'm gonna close the box. Mama's gotta put this back in there. It's not your box. It's not your box. It's not. It's not your box. It's not your box. This is mine. You snappy boy. I'm gonna put this in here. You want it? Oh no. Okay, bye-bye. Here's the instructions. Are you gonna put it together? There you go.